Yo, a lot of people been asking, who the fuck am I? Where the fuck do you come from? Who's your dad? Is he your grandson? Is he really from Malabar? Kanda pola nigga tunala. This be the Malabar flow, got the whole team back in a row. This be the wars, everybody wanna get it loud, really wanna know about the things that be Malabar. Taking down the patterns, I teach you how my to rise. Everybody got a little question in their mind, like the TP Sultan. Shoot the arrows and I'ma be gone. Yo, Malik Dinar in the tent to the Arda. They do what they call it, Yamakuna Kana. Mostly at school in the front till the Parda. They do what they call the Yamakuna Parda. This ain't nothing but a proof for the hara. Gonna take it to another level, muddy murder. This is me doing nothing but testing the water. Gotta let the demons know who is the father. Flow like crazy, I'm Abdurrahman's baby. TPU Saints daughter really raised me. This be the reason I got that Malabar flow. Man, I got the Malabar go. Threats be wanting a piece of the freehold. We got the whole fucking squad. Malabar going bar after bar. We all be ending the war. We all be motherfucking stars.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to another vlog, welcome to the CarFreak 458. Well, surprise, we got ourselves a new car and we got ourselves a new BMW. I need to be completely honest, I got this G30 520i before the 535 that we just recorded on the previous video, thinking, you know, new car, 2018, was still under the warranty, so why not? But then I got a little bit disappointed, to be honest. But about that a little bit later on, why I got disappointed and why I bought the 535. This one, as we said, G30 520i rear-wheel drive 2018 model, a baby 7 Series, one would say, because there is a big difference from the previous generations when they were compared to the, you know, kind of 3 Series as a bigger brother. Now they're sort of compared to the 7 Series, which, you know, like, I don't know why someone would buy a 7 Series, to be honest. Yes, it's a slightly more bigger, if I should say, and if that's correctly, you know, said from my end. But on the other hand, I don't know what else one would need from executive saloon car. You have a decent boot space, which is filled up with my stuff and whatnot, but it's pretty decent size boot space that you have here in the back. It's completely remodeled in terms of the tail lights, as well as the front lights, and then the elephant in the room are the back seats, right, which you have to have in an executive saloon car. So I don't know, I mean, I'm 185 centimeters, 3 fingers still here, so let's say like some 10 centimeters still space on the top, and then enough room here. The entire fist, I would say, can fit here, as you can see, and this is my driving position. As I said, I'm 185. Those fancy schmancy curtains that you have in BMWs, ambient lighting all around the car. Even in the front there is a little bit of a sunlight, so you won't be able to see those airplane storages. You can put your iPad or the laptop. You have there climate control, some of the storages here as well that you have, and then you know, enough space for a big bottle, for a small bottle of whatever, drink, water, whatever you want to put here. Electric windows behind me. It's also the electric curtain which I can show you later on, and then you can pull this seat to make some extra storage space if you need. Still, it has like, I think 10 liters less than the E-Class in the same segment, but you know, who cares. You have this middle thing you can pull here as well, with some cup holders, you know, that you can put some drinks. Yeah, I mean, even the middle seat, I don't think that I would be, because of this central you know, pillar here, I don't think that I will be that comfortable. But you know, yeah, I can't sit here, but as you can see, but two adults can definitely sit on the sides, and maybe one child. But yeah, leather interior, as you can see, a very light one. And then let's sit in the front, and I will explain to you a little bit more about the front. But before we do that, I want to show you the engine. So this hasn't been cleaned for some time, but twin power turbo, 2 liters, 184 horsepower, 270 odd newton meters of torque, 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.8 seconds, top speed of 246 kilometers, sorry, 250 kilometers per hour, and not much, to be quite honest. There is like still a lot of dirt, I think, from some of the services, some confettis here and whatnot, but that's basically the heart, and that's basically one of the main reasons why I decided to go for the 535, which we're going to discuss there. Of course, you know, the shock absorbers over there to open the hood, and there you go. Lights, BMW LED lights, are still normal grille that you can see. Those strap bars that I'm gonna paint on the 535, they're also here. They can be painted, but then again, I don't know. You have the fog lights, and then BMW LED lights, angel eyes. You have the nice trims here. Tires are 18-inch, 245, 45, 18 as a standard, front and back as well. Nice trims around here, the doors, panels, blinkers on the mirrors, you know, as I said, and then the tail lights and 2 exhaust pipes on the back. Overall, a very decent looking vehicle, a very decent, you know, sedan, if you ask me. Big enough and comfortable enough, which we're gonna speak when we go inside. Well, I just had to move somewhere a little bit more shady because of the sunlight, and this is the inside of G30 520i. I got the car from the first owner. Clearly it's 2018, so it's still pretty much a new car for 5 years old, right? As I mentioned, got it from the first owner, meticulously maintained in the BMW dealership. But yeah, it's a 520i, that's the first thing. And the second thing, I think it's an entry model, not only for the engine trim, but also for the options that I don't think the previous owner ticked any of the boxes. As simple as that. I mean, I got the 2 keys and all these things, you know, they look like this. I didn't get this big beautiful screen thingy that you can, you know, park your car without being in it and operate and whatnot. So that's the first thing. Second thing, everything is like, it gives you a kind of a 50-50 feeling here inside, and then I don't even know how to start to explain that. In my 535i, everything feels, you know, sturdy, everything feels stiff, the materials, you know, are, you know, giving you a feeling of a good quality, no squeaks, no noises, no cracks, blah blah blah. Where this car, I don't know, sometimes you have, you know, something like these armrests, they're so nice and so, I don't know, stiff and such a good quality, right? Then on the other hand, you have this new infotainment system that they put, and then I don't know if you're gonna hear it. It's just like, I have a feeling, I don't know. I mean, it's there, it's not moving, but I don't know. I don't know. You know, like a good quality leather here as well, very good quality leather. Then some cheap plastic or whatever it is, you know, even on the door panels. I don't know. I'm really 50-50. You know, this, I think it's the A pillar. It's the only, I think, blind spot that you have in this car. It's pretty big. It's pretty big, and that might be the only blind spot that you have. Otherwise, the visibility is super nice. Even in the back, if you take a look, I mean, you know, it's pretty good visibility and whatnot. As I mentioned, we have the infotainment system, big screen here. We have a digital clusters. One thing that, again, it's a personal preference. If you have a digital clusters, why did they make these, I don't know, metal things? I don't know. I mean, I need to check my tire pressure, but that's the only thing that I need to check. Steering wheel, on the other hand, as much as I would like the sport one, the M1, it's pretty nice. It's pretty decent. It's new, hence I probably like it with you know, your cruise control options on the left side, same like in my 535. Cruise control options, your modes that you can change on your cluster, and, you know, volume and phone. Floppy pedals are here, and they are sort of a plastic, not as good quality as it is in 535, if you ask me personally. Your normal dials for the windows, back curtain that we saw, you know, mirror adjustments, seats adjusted in so many ways, and you have the memory seats over here, locking and unlocking buttons on this side, and as I said, as you can see, the ambient lighting runs throughout the car all around, which is nice, especially during the night. Another feature that we don't have here is the massage seats, cooling and heating seats that usually comes in here. But apart from that, these are the normal AC controls, the you know, speed of the fan and the temperature and different modes, whatnot. On this hand as well, same like in a 535, you know, adjustable on touch. Actually, on like a, you know, you don't need to press, you can just touch these things. This is your DVD sort of a thingy, and then you can control the screen. You know, in some of the BMWs, again, another option that hasn't been chosen is like you can adjust the volume by just doing this. Here, nope, I don't want to show any signs, but nope. And then you can control it by the knob next to the gear lever, as you can see, and it's pretty responsive. You have your notifications, for example. You can continue driving, inflate the tires. You can go back on that one, check the other things if you want about the vehicle settings. You can go back to the menu, check the vehicle status, you know, your navigation, which is pretty decent. If you go to the map, I mean, similar to the 535, but slightly larger, slightly better quality. I mean, going back there, your media, radio, and your communication over there. And this central panel, so or the middle panel here, they leave a standard one from the BMWs in that era, where you have the your normal controls plus the manual, and then you can switch off the traction control in here. You have a different driving modes, which are the Sport, Comfort, and the one that I mentioned in the previous video, which is the Eco Pro. I don't fancy that one. Your parking cameras and your parking assists, as you can see, it's very good, high resolution. You know, a lot of assists around the car. You have the cameras and the sensors, so sometimes it might be even annoying, to be quite honest. Parking brake, auto hold that the car has. This car comes even with the start stop button, which is right underneath your start button for the engine. I keep it always off. I mean, for me that makes no sense. And that's pretty much it. Some of the you know, interior lighting here, and you have the sunroof and the sun that is just about to hit us over there. Sunroof is pretty decent size, the same size as the one in the 535, I would say. Not much difference in that sense, if you ask me. When it comes to different driving modes, as I said, at the moment the car is in a comfort mode. You can change it to the Eco Pro mode. It changes the dials, it changes the color. You cannot cross a certain limit in the revs, you know, and the torque. Immediately your start stop switches on back. You cannot go more than 120 kilometers and whatnot, like back to the comfort, normal dials. My start stop is back off, and then there is this feature of fading, right? So when the RPMs go higher, as well as the speed, it lights up the certain you know, speed, the certain numbers and the certain dials, and the other ones are kind of faded in the background, which is a cool feature to have. You know, you can change your modes here. When it comes to the radio, which we're gonna, yeah, there we go. As I said, different things that you can choose, and you can go on and off about it. I don't even know what's going on, so there you go. I'm not gonna and then board computer, you know, your MPG or your consumption, you know, some of the other things. So 10 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a pretty decent consumption, if you ask me, considering that I haven't been driving that car much, but whenever I used to drive it, you know, dynamically. And then you can switch it off completely, and put it back on where I'm keeping it. It has 149,000 kilometers for like 4 or 5 years, which is pretty decent, if you ask me. And then we were in the comfort. I forgot that, you see, the sport mode kind of emphasize on the red color, aggressive look. You know, the dials, they go to 50, 100, 150, 200, 260, whatever it is, rather than. Alright, so my battery decided to die on me, so I had to put the new battery. I was talking about the modes, so about the sport mode and whatnot. Overall, a good place to sit, a good place to be if you're an executive chauffeur. It has enough space, and let's go and see how it drives. Right, taking it for a spin. Let's go. Comfort mode. The one that you're gonna be driving probably most of the time. Not much to say. My decision says quite a lot about the car. Yes, there might be a problem in me as well, because I chose the 520, which is a 4-cylinder inline 4, 184, not even 200 horsepower. So coming from an Audi A5, there was more nimble, more agile, and certainly felt faster. It was even on the paper. Audi, my Audi had 211 horsepower, which is nearly 30 horsepower more than this car has, and it was a smaller car. It was lighter, at least it felt lighter. This one is, by the way, lighter than the previous generation that I have, F10 generation. Surprisingly, it's bigger, it's larger, but yet it is lighter nonetheless. So as I said, from 211 and whatnot horsepower to 184, 185, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. It's an executive saloon, especially if you get the enter level that I got myself, with 18-inch rims. So you can get them with the 19, and I think also with the 20s, with the different trims, and different engines like 530s. They're still 4-cylinder but more horsepower. Then you have the 540, which is the inline 6, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to drive one day, or maybe even own, because that thing is madness, at least on the paper, and what I could see on the road and in person as well. Never driven one, never been in one, but my opinion, it's a completely different car. Yes, it might look the same or the similar, not similar, same, it's the same generation, but it feels different. It certainly drives different, and even it looks different. It has a different, you know, bits and pieces and around the car and inside the car, and steering and rims and different, you know, skirts and whatnot, right? So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. That's something that I was wanting, but then my budget was also not, you know, that huge. Speaking of the budget and the money, when it was new, the prices were starting at roughly around $50,000, which is somewhere around 180, 200-ish thousand dirham mark, and that was the entry point. Something like probably this, you know, with not much to offer in terms of the interior, exterior, and all the other features, right? And then it could go up to, let's say, 80, 90k, depends on the options and the things that you tick over there on the paper when you're purchasing the car. plus different engine trims, as I mentioned. So 540 and 550, I think, or 555. I'm not, don't hold me for that. They were the most expensive, apart from the M5. M5 is a completely different league, and we all seen what that M5 can do, as well as the M5 CS. So, anyways, I had a call to attend. So as I said, maybe I'm in the wrong car, and that's why I had the car now for probably April, May, June, 2-3 months, and this is the first and maybe not the last video. I think I'll do the comparison between this new generation 2018 and a 10-year-old 535i that I have as well, the full M optic that you can see somewhere here or whatever it is. But it's a different car. It's just different. I'm not that extremely happy in this 520. It's not a BMW enough. Yeah, that's the least that I can say, and to be the lightest as possible, because I am a huge BM fanboy and whatnot, right? So everyone, I think by now, knows that. But this is just not the car, and there is nothing wrong with the car. I'm sure that somebody else will be perfectly happy with this car. It's comfy, and yes, it gives you a certain punch if you push a little bit. It gives you that. There's no sound, but yes, there is a certain sensation of speed, so-called. Brakes are good, and the displacement is almost 3 meters. I think 2,900 and some change millimeters. So like roughly around 3 meters displacement between the wheels, and I'm sure that it feels also different if you have that adaptive suspension that I don't. I'm sure it feels different if you choose the 4x4, which I think came only in a 550, but I would never opt that with a BMW. I would always go for the rear-wheel drive. But then there is also the M optic thing that you can get with a 540, and then that's a different game. Yes, it kind of puts the car into more stiffer mode, and it's not an executive saloon anymore. But I don't need an executive saloon. I just like the big cars. I mean, I like the big saloons, but I want them to be fast, like the 535 that we have now. It feels different, it drives different. You can feel the power beneath your feet and under the hood. This, on the other hand, not so much, I'm afraid. Not so much. Mainly due to that 4-cylinder engine and desizing and the whole global warming thing, So I don't know. I don't know, guys, honestly. So there is some douche, but that's what I can tell you for now. Apart from that, as I said, a very comfy ride. If you put it in sport mode, the rev meter goes up. It's individual here on the screen, if you can see, and then you have a better response. It becomes a little bit stiffer, I would say, but then again, let's see. It goes. I mean, this guy with his V8 cannot do much about this. The car goes, definitely. then you can move it to the manual. There we go. I mean, I'm sure that you can do something about the exhaust, but you can't get much out of this 4-cylinder turbo engine, you know. So yeah. Drive nice in a sport mode, but nowhere, just back to the comfort mode, everything changes here, but nowhere near as nice as the 535. With that being said, we will do the comparison video between these two cars. My bad, guys, that I was turning you upside down. What I was saying, so as I mentioned, decent car. I got a bargain deal on it, I have to be honest. They're still going, I mentioned the price when it was new, but they're still going for like roughly around $30,000 mark for this type of a trim and model and features, right? I got a good deal. As I said, the first owner, it was still under the warranty when I got it. Not that many kilometers, and maintained with a you know, official dealership. So comparison video between this G30 and F10 model will come soon, so stay tuned for that. If you like the video, put a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in some other video. The car is for sale.